The acceleration on this car still surprises me. Guys, welcome to Red 50, and I am very excited to announce that we have a new car on the channel. So we're gonna have this Infiniti G37 on the channel. You guys may have seen this car on the channel before, as we have done a few videos on this. It's been in the family, but now we're finally officially taking over this car. And as you can see, it's really dirty, so we're gonna wash it first. I'll tell you all the details and what the plans are for this car and what it means for the Red 50 over there. Don't worry, Mustang is staying on the channel, obviously, because there would be no Red 50 without the Mustang. But because we have some exciting plans for the Mustang in the future, maybe, so I want to go ahead and have a daily driver, just kind of split up the miles to not rack up so many miles in the Mustang. I can't believe I've crossed 50,000 miles in the Mustang, so I need something to keep the miles off. Because if you're going to do some big projects in the Mustang, we are going to need a daily to keep the miles off. But in the future, we might be supercharging the Mustang, which means I need to keep the miles off of the Mustang and just have a daily driver. And this is a pretty good platform. It's Infiniti G37, basically the equivalent of the Nissan 370Z. It's got a lot of similar, it's the same 3.7 liter engine V6, making 330 horsepower, which is pretty impressive for this car. I'll tell you all the detail what this car has, how many miles it's got. I mean, you can see it's in a little bit rough shape right now because it needs a car wash. So we're gonna wash the car, go for a drive, and talk about this new exciting project on the channel with the Infiniti G37. Look at how clean she looks with just a simple car wash. It just needs some maintenance. The car looks, that's one of the things with the black on black cars. When you wash them, they look really good, but after a couple of days, they are very dusty. But I'll enjoy the view while I can. You just really like, it's a 2009 car, so almost 16 years old right now, but it still holds, like the body shape and everything is very good. And once it's washed up, it looks very good. I think I need to clean the headlight, but that's gonna be a project for a different day. These lights definitely need some treatment, because right now you can see even with the car wash and everything, they're very yellow right now. So that's something, it's a very common issue in these cars. So I'll go ahead and do that in a separate video where I'll clean up the headlights, and hopefully this car will look even newer. So the car is all cleaned up now. We're gonna take it for a quick drive. I'm gonna tell you all about this car, what year, how many miles, everything that you need to know about this car, what the plans are for this car, and what it means for the actual Red 50, which is currently parked on the street because we have to make some room to be able to clean this car. But yeah, now that she's all cleaned up, let's hop on the driver's seat, tell you all about this car. All right, so let's get her fired up. Push to start on this. This one also got paddle shifters because this is the sport model of the G37. As you can see, the car's got 167,000 miles, still going pretty strong. 16-year-old car, very fun to drive actually. It does have a check engine light. That's for an O2 sensor that's been on there for a few years at this point. It's a mysterious issue with the O2 sensor, so we're gonna leave it at that for now, depending on what we do with the car. But yeah, I mean, the interior itself, I have to say, it's a 16-year-old car, yes, but the interior is pretty good. The screen is like the biggest thing where you can tell it's dated because it's like an LCD screen. So especially in the sun, it's not like the most brightest screen out there. Other than that, I do like the interior, like the materials. There's a lot of soft touch here, and this whole aluminum thing going on. Love the clock here as well. It's a very classy look. It's got some lights as well too. But for a car, this whole interior has held up pretty good. It's got pedal shifters too, which actually makes this car really fun to drive. We're gonna demo that too. Leather seats, heated seats, snow mode, everything. For its age, the interior is really good, but let's hop on the road, talk about how it drives and what the plans are with this car. And of course, the Red 50. The acceleration on this car still surprises me. It's plenty quick. It's got a V6 engine, 3.7 liter. It's got 328 horsepower, but it moves like nothing. The throttle is pretty sensitive on this. Makes it feel very responsive when you're just driving around. And even like the handling on this car is pretty good. Despite being heavy, I actually enjoy this. It's a very controlled handling on this G37. Part of it has to do that this is the sport model, which is why you have these paddle shifters. You have slightly bigger wheels, 18-inch versus 17, which you would typically get. Some of the suspension enhancements as well, which makes this G37 really fun to drive. So we're gonna get on the open road a little bit, get on the car to really get you the feel of this G37, and we're gonna try to use some paddle shifters too, which is very responsive. Actually makes the sedan a whole lot fun to drive. We're gonna put the car in sport mode, which really changes the shift points and the throttle response in this car. It's a very rev heavy engine, and even the paddle shifter response is pretty good. Really responsive handling. Let's use the paddle shifters a little bit. Just loves to rev. This VQ motors just love to rev. When you look at this car from outside, you wouldn't think this one's sporting 300 plus horsepower. And the fact that it's got a very responsive transmission in sport mode, and the throttle response is also very sensitive, in a good way, this makes the car very fun to drive when you're daily driving it. So let's talk about what we're gonna do with this car on the channel. As you saw, it does have a lot of miles, 167,000 miles. So it is gonna be more of a daily driver for me, just keeping some miles out. I'm still gonna be daily driving the Mustang, but in instances where I can use this car, I will use that to keep some miles off of the Mustang, because I really want to boost the Mustang, and I don't wanna, so I need a fallback car if something goes wrong, and this is gonna be it. And I can also keep miles off of the Mustang by driving this, where the driving is not gonna be fun. I'm just stuck in traffic. I can just take this car, and as you saw from these clips, this car is actually pretty fun to drive as well. So as far as mods on this car, we're not gonna go too crazy or anything really, because the idea with this car is that it needs to be reliable. So if I go boost on the Mustang or do long tube headers, E85, I want to have a fallback car that I can go to work in, just run errands or whatever. So that's why I want to keep this car a little bit mild on this side. We might do some appearance mod, like a front splitter, maybe change up the exhaust a little bit. Might get the tints as well, because right now there is no tints, so it looks like a fishbowl look from the outside. So we're gonna change that. One of the popular mods on this car is also doing a chrome delete from the outside, as you saw from earlier clip. There's just a lot of chrome outside, even on the grill, the side. So we might do a chrome delete and just see, maybe go for the whole blacked out look, which will be pretty much cosmetic. In terms of making power from this car, there's not much you can do, because it is similar to the 5.0. It's a naturally aspirated V6 engine, which means you're kind of limited how much power you can squeeze out with just a tune. So if you do a tune, intake, exhaust, and maybe even some more, you might get 40, 50 wheel horsepower, which is not much. And I've got a Mustang GT with, you know, close to 500 crank horsepower. So that scratches my itch for the power. It's still fun daily driver that I can use, and it's gonna have 300 plus horsepower that I can enjoy as well. So it's gonna be really exciting to have another car on the channel where we can experiment with it, do some mods on it, just make more content on this car. Don't worry, there's still gonna be a lot of videos primarily on the Mustang, obviously, because this is just a side project. Mustang will still get all the attention. So if you are subscribed to the channel for the Mustang, don't worry, Mustang is not going anywhere. If anything, we might just go a little too crazy with the Mustang build. But yeah, guys, comment below, what do you think about this Infiniti G37, or just having a second daily driver? Just one more car to the channel, very exciting. What do you think about it? What mods should we do in the G37? If you're familiar with the VQ platform, if you've owned one, let me know best mods to do on this platform. So I'll catch you guys in another video. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you smash that like button. And if you haven't done so, make sure you are subscribed, because now we have two cars we're gonna be doing builds on, the Mustang GT and of course the G37.